Okay, so in our last video, I showed you what all this meant, and I went through the whole process of the perfect pitch set of how to get this all done. But what it's going to come down to is right here, this point right here, when you're meeting with the individual and you're going to ask them for the check. And this could be a very awkward moment if you're not prepared, if you're not confident, you don't know what you're going to be asking for. At this point, you need to know your product inside and out. You need to know the benefits, who it's going to help. You have to bring your pre-launch signups, how many people have signed up, whether it's 100 or 100,000. You want to make sure that you make that a point of emphasis. You want to emphasize that point because that's going to show you have traction and people are really interested in what you have. So you want to make sure you have that down. So when you go and you meet with this person and you finish your presentation, you go through the prototype and all your documents and you show them your websites, you want to make sure that when you ask for that check, you're confident. And here are some things that are going to help you to know that you will be successful in securing the funds you need to build your app. Number one is you want to make sure there are no hesitations. Okay, if they ask you questions, you know them direct. You can answer them very quickly, intelligently, but you keep it short. Anyone can make something complicated and run on and run on and on and on about how awesome it is. If they're very analytical, then you're going to want to go into that. It's going to go to my next point. But I just want to make sure you know your points. If they ask you questions, you're very direct and you're precise. The next one is you need to read who you're working with. This is point number 2. The person you're speaking with, if they're very direct, to the point, very short, like, tell me what this is all about, I got 5 minutes, you have to adopt it then. You have to adopt your presentation and make it towards their speed, to their cadence, and give it that type of pitch and that type of communication. So you have to read the individual. Then the next one is if they are very slow paced and they talk very slow and they want to go over everything and they want to read everything. If they're doing this type of thing, asking a lot of questions, you want to make sure you pull out all your documents that you have prepared and you want to go through it line by line, make sure everything's covered so they feel comfortable and they feel relaxed and like, okay, I feel good, I understand what you have. Okay, so that's another point is you want to make sure you read the individual that you are presenting to. And then my final tip is when you want to go ahead and you're going to ask for the check, you have to make sure that you're able to recap what you presented to them in under 60 seconds. So that means you have to know your whole presentation, everything that we covered here, on this whiteboard here. You have to make sure that you can recap it very quickly without going through any slides because you want to, again, emphasize all the buying points of why they need to get in right now, why this is the best investment they can make into you, and that they can trust you with your concept, and it's going to be a smart investment for them as well. So that's what you do when you read the person, you're well prepared, and when you ask for the check, make sure you're sitting down. Do not ask for any type, do not close any business standing up. If you're standing up, they're going to feel that business is done, that business has commenced, and there's nothing left to talk about. So when you are still talking about your presentation, you're sitting down, you're talking about it, and when you go for the pitch, or when you go for the close and you're asking for, hey, I need 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, when you make your request, you put your hand out and you say, let's do this. I'm excited. Are you ready to invest in the next biggest thing? How do you feel about getting into this app? It's going to be an amazing opportunity for both of us, isn't it? And you hold it there. And it's going to feel awkward, and they're going to like, this guy, why does he keep holding his hand? Because you want your hand out there, and then when they shake it, then you grasp it, and you shake it, and you say, you made a wise decision. I'm looking forward to getting this app started. It's going to be great for both of us, okay? So you have to be confident. You have to understand that until that deal is closed, then you stand up. Now, it's going to come time what happens if they say, well, John, this is not a good time for me. I enjoy the presentation. It's going to happen, okay? But following what I teach you in the webinar, going through all this, your ratios are going to go way, way up, and you're not going to have to speak to very many people. Okay, it's going to be very easy for you, and that's the whole purpose of App Launch Academy, is to make it easy. But it's going to happen where they may just not be interested, and they say, "Great, no problem. Thank you for your time. Let me ask you, John. You are a successful business individual, and you're a family friend, or we run in the same circles within the same networks, whatever. You find that commonality there." And then what you're going to say is, look, are there any other individuals that you know that are looking to get in the app space? It's a $70+ billion industry this year. I know someone's going to love my idea. Since that's not where you want to be, that's not where you want to put your money at, who else would be interested? And you pause until they give you a name. And then you get the name and you write it down. And say, then what is their phone number? And then you write it down. Do they have an email address? Write it down. And then you say, hey, would it be possible that you could, just let them know that I'm giving them a call ahead of time? And if they say, well, no, just give them a call and mention my name, and that's the next thing we'll do. Say, if I do give them a call, it'd be okay if I mention the name and say that you gave me the contact information so I can give them a call as well. So these are the things you need to have prepared when you're going and asking for the check when you make your presentation. But it's very easy to do, and I'm going to cover all of it within the webinar. It's a lot of information, and you're going to love it. I'm so excited for you because finally there's a program, a webinar here that's going to teach you exactly how to do this stuff, because there's so much gray area on what it really takes to launch a successful app without having to code and without having to know any investors. Okay, this is not going talking to VCs and banks and angel investors. That's not what any of this is. It's a lot easier than that. And this program, my webinar, is going to show you exactly how to do it. So make sure you get there on time. Again, make sure you have your time written down for the webinar, and you come prepared. To eliminate all distractions, turn everything off, because it's going to be a quick 60 to 70 minutes, and I cannot wait to share with you all the information to launch your successful mobile app. I look forward to seeing you there.